Hello, everyone. Hello,
Hello.
Warren. Welcome to umbraCoffee episode third of this year, and I will start
100
with
and
the.
something, is it?
Oh, I stopped counting, but I will start it with the corporate talk. It's the end of the Q1, and now we
Yeah,
are
that's
here.
it. Financial year.
Yeah. Warren, thanks for joining me today. How are you doing these days? And
Yeah,
what are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Marcin. I assume I don't look as attractive as Callum, and everyone would just have to deal with me as opposed to Callum today. But yeah, all good, all good. How are you though?
I'm good as well. I came back from a quick break and a US trip, and Callum, by the way, right now is in US enjoying the Microsoft MVP summit. And funny enough, I yesterday watched some stories from my friends on Instagram, and I noticed Callum standing just behind one of my Polish friends, and I couldn't imagine that amongst so many technical people there, I would recognize Callum on the random, maybe not that random, but on the Instagram story randomly shared from the event.
Yeah, he's
But yeah,
everywhere, isn't he? He's
yeah,
everywhere.
even on my friend's stories, that's the guy. That's
Can't escape him.
the Callum. If you're watching, get out from my friend's stories. No, but that's fun. I hope that Callum will come back and share a lot of interesting insights from the more Microsoft related ecosystem. And from what I saw also from other people, there is a lot of things that probably will impact our work life and everything else. It's a lot about, of course, AI involvement in the developers experience. Microsoft owns a small part, which is a big part of the ecosystem already, right? So that
Yeah.
that will be cool, and we'll talk about this AI today as well a little bit. How's your developers experience recently? Are you multiplying yourself with AI? Are you
I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah.
I'm probably still on like grumpy old man. Like back in my day, none of this AI tech was around. And, but no,
Yeah.
I've probably been trying to use it like in vain more and more. And yeah, I'm probably not as levels as like people over at Umbraco HQ, so like Matt Brailsford and Phil Whitaker and co. But yeah, I'm starting to use it more, and it's helped me with a feature on a package that I've worked on recently, but I can talk about that later. But yeah, generally, it's like it's definitely helping me improve my code or build things that were always just an idea, and I'll get to it one day. It's definitely helped me speed up in terms of like that iterative loop, in terms of like, okay, let's just jam on an idea, let's build until it kind of works, and then we'll go from there. But how about you, Marcin? Like, you using it day to day, or?
Yes, I'm using it and trying to kind of set up the line in between of using it wisely and overusing it because I should or everyone else is. But I recently found myself, and I wanted to ask you as well about this perception, because I felt like, oh, now I can review and I have more context knowledge about things that I usually wouldn't know, including, for example, front-end development, right? Because previously I was not trying to step into the front-end too much, and I try to avoid questioning some front-end authorities, for example, right? But now I have a whole army of data validations and code validations, and I have context. But what I feel is that general experience through web development helped me to process this input and not trust judgments from AI as well only, but generally, if it has a common sense and it makes sense in my head, and there is a confirmation from the analysis that some tools or agents did, I start fighting with front-enders as well. So that's awesome. that's my superpower from AI.
I can just imagine you in the office now, like, it's come on.
Yeah, front-end and jQuery battles. But yeah, that's the fine. But yeah, we'll see. And people who are watching us, let us know how's your adoption is going as well, because that's still, I feel like we'll still talk about it a lot. One thing that I wanted to share before we will jump into the Umbraco topics was that I spent more than a week with the guys who were completely out of the IT bubble. Recently, we were watching NBA games, talking about everything that other than code, which is unusual topic conversation for me amongst the male friends. But I realized that we are living in a bubble still, because all the AI FOMO, agents FOMO, everything like I should be doing this or I should be doing that. It's completely not present in a lot of other businesses and places. And we are talking now about the danger of AI replacing us or a reduced amount of work being on the market and stuff like that. When in the other businesses, other companies, the problems are a little bit different. So
exactly.
That's something what I came back and I was sitting in the plane without internet connection and just thinking about, damn it, we are biased with this point of view from the internal, let's say, perspective, when in reality it might have not that big impact on the world itself. So it was like a philosophic thought around the AI for myself.
Nice.
So that's where I am. That's where I am. But yeah, we'll find out. And again, we are all
it's moving so rapid though. That's I think the part of the enjoyment, and probably showing the part of my age that I enjoy the chaos of like it just new stuff every day, new stuff to play with, try. But getting old now, I can't like code till silly o'clock in the hours anymore. I need my sleep, and but it's definitely an interesting time for the web. We'll see in 6 months' time, like where are we now? It'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, so it's this time that when we can say that if we were young,
if I was young, I'd have all these ideas, all these packages or whatever. Yeah.
So if some young people are watching us now, please do something with it. Help the world. But talking about Umbraco, and again, AI is a huge part of the conversation, of course, in Umbraco itself. We were observing a lot of movements, of course, teams being built inside of Umbraco itself, and we can talk about it too. So let's start. I brought one big announcement. Probably it's enough to talk about for the whole month summary. Because it's a Q1 update from Umbraco, and Philip summarized everything, basically what has been accomplished, even investigated and discovered within the Umbraco ecosystem amongst the Q1. And there's a lot, of course. And Warren, having you here, what parts of the ecosystem of Umbraco are you actively using on? Have you been using cloud a lot? Engage, commerce?
For me, the current contracts and things that I'm on, it's mostly obviously the core product of obviously CMS, but for me, it's cloud. I've still yet to pick up a project with Engage and Compose, but this new project is picking up commerce and putting on the newbie hat. I'm seeing things with fresh eyes, so that's been fun to build like a commerce project with CMS and cloud. But let's go back 3 or 4 years, like before all these kind of product buyouts. It was like we only really had like the CMS, cloud, and forms, and maybe deploy. But we've got like 8, 9 products to choose from now. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I saw a lot of your questions about commerce recently, so I knew that commerce is a thing on your plate at the moment. I had a small history of commerce back in the days, but recently I'm again tempted and interested in Compose and other bits, but still the core CMS is such a big part of the builds already, and there's a lot of search integrations that we are always using on top of that too. That there was never a point where I used all of them, but cloud is something what I at least recently do a lot, not even a lot more, but we have probably half of the new projects right now on the CMS parts hosted on cloud too, which also again exposes us to different challenges, different issues, but also different benefits from having this in place, and that's something what I'm now at least looking forward to. This is particular something what I recently highlighted as a problem for our new project, because this was such an easy thing to set up in cloud, and we were just taking this as default functionality with external login providers, because we were just configuring them on the cloud and they were working and everything was fine and clickable through. And now we realized, oh damn, if we'll be starting a new project which won't be hosted on cloud, we need to just check out the new libraries.
I've got to do all this. I've got to do all this plumbing
integration, probably deploy it. So that was interesting, and there is a lot of more like this, like even Cloudflare caching and all the other bits that are there, and we are no longer need to worry about it. But yeah, there's a lot of updates, and
yeah, this Q1 post is insane. Like, it depends like what you're like, it grabs you, like you said. Compose, I haven't had any projects that that need it so far. So it'll be one of those things. If and when that time comes along, I'll get interested in it. But yeah, CMS wise, wasn't it like Umbraco Search? If you scroll to the top, isn't it like Umbraco Search is like the key things that's coming
and
from Ken, and then we've got like things like what else from memory? Getting ready for elements and the kind of like element library that I know that Niels talked about at Umbraco Spark last week. So yeah, I think the plumbing and the kind of the next foundations for like the CMS and the kind of the core product is Umbraco 17's kind of now at a stage where it was before like the rewrite of the back office. That now the team is getting a chance to kind of work on new features or iterate and make the product better. So yeah, it's interesting to see that EF Core project is coming along as well. So yeah,
finally, nice. a lot of developers were asking about it back in the day. So we are all getting there, and I think that you've mentioned those element types, and I just realized that I should probably include the link to the video from Niels in the links, because I briefly watched it. But we were talking a lot about this element types and reusable element types as well. So reusable content based on top of the element types. I think this is something what again always was. Maybe not always. In a lot of the cases, was a part of the development inside of the project.
Yeah, and I think I'm going way back now, but like earlier builds of Umbraco sites, probably you just use the content tree and you just kind of figured it out. Obviously, the pattern now is obviously to use like reusable blocks or try to, and every agency and every development team has a different way of approaching this. So having like a standardized way in the future come V18 to have like, reusable blocks built into the CMS is going to be fab, because that's like the modern way of building sites is like, it's all either block list or block grid, and it's all kind of component based because that's what content editors expect from their CMS these days. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a long time coming, but I'm really looking forward.
And again, yet another standardization in the place for Umbraco projects. So I think since we started using data types almost for everything, document types, sorry, for everything, it's like a lot easier to kind of understand how things were built, and even if we're inheriting projects or extending some existing projects, it's like, okay, this is here, this is what we can do. Is it composed? Is it in, how it's converted into the displayed information? And with reusable content blocks, we will do the same. So it's one less custom implementation needed and one less problematic item on the list to be checked. One thing that I wanted to ask you about the commerce stuff, is it something what surprised you on the commerce level with Umbraco? Have you been doing any commerce projects outside of the Umbraco before?
No. So this is probably like day-to-day, like commerce projects is not a big thing in my sphere of work. So yeah, it's been interesting to just kind of pick up, Umbraco Commerce. Back in the day, there was obviously before Umbraco Commerce became Vendor, and Vendor was known as T-Commerce. I picked up maybe a project back then, but again, that's talking long time ago. So, but yeah, Commerce is nice features. It is nicely documented, but it's me just being me, asking on the MVP channel, like, how's this work? What's this do? Just because it's just the way my mind works.
Yeah, I'm asking because there's a lot of updates there as well, and I haven't been using this for quite a while. But I do also remember how kind of native it looked then, and again, if it's if user experience is the same as Umbraco's, then the commerce part on top of the Umbraco might be really interesting in the e-commerce market, because there is a lot of e-commerce platforms that are not there yet with editors experience, and they're hugely advanced in the commerce parts, but I probably, same as you, intentionally avoided commerce projects for most of my career. So, and I'm still again happy that I am not involved in commerce projects again. So that's where I am with commerce. But there was a lot of that, and I will of course attach this link to the update if someone missed the parts there. And there's a lot of other news which we partially covered in previous umbraCoffees too. But AI, we talked about AI, and Umbraco, of course, is in the market of AI. And yesterday, Boleta and Umbraco announced that there are not one, but two new teams in Umbraco, with 27 people who are joined now in AI community team and then AI advisory board. And as all the other previous community teams, you are part of one of the teams.
Yes,
right?
yeah, like a package community team. But yeah, these teams are like really useful for the people on the team and kind of like these advisory boards, but also back to Umbraco HQ to kind of either help shape a direction or shape a product. So yeah, it works fab in both ways. So it's some exciting people on the teams as well. So I'm looking to see kind of forward to where this goes.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight and again share kudos to everyone who is now helping and going to help Umbraco in this field. And yeah, plenty of familiar faces and plenty of people who has various points of views on things inside of the Umbraco sphere. So I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, having Callum here as well will probably help us to get some of the things from the internal discussions and topics here for the next episodes too. So we'll observe that. All the people's bios are here. So if someone wants to check out and see who is exactly helping and going to help here, the blog post is on Umbraco blog, and yeah, the advisory board is also huge. And
yeah, the advisory board is a big team, but lots of different agencies and CTOs and things. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they come up with and what they think is the direction.
Yeah, that's really cool. So Warren, you've mentioned package team and packages, and yeah, I know some of your history. You've been as I talked behind the scenes, you were doing packages since forever, I believe.
It feels like it. It feels like it.
So how it changed since the beginning? How you are approaching this? Of course, Umbraco, new Bellissima back office changed the ways of building things as well. Share your point of view and your highlights.
So I think, like, let's go back, say, when version 14. So that's new. We say new back office, but the improved back office or web component based back office, like that was what, a year and a half ago, 18 months ago. AI models wasn't trained on it. Like we had to figure this stuff out manually. We had to kind of understand the concepts and things like that. So I think it's with the adoption of AI and packages and the models getting a hell of a lot better in terms of, there's more code base now to kind of understand and context. I think we're seeing in my perspective, I'm seeing a bit of a big uptick in terms of packages being released to the community, which is fab. But I think it also drives potentially other problems that we get fragmented packages. So rather than people deciding to try and maybe collaborate, but I think sometimes that's not people just being aware of what is already out in the marketplace. We have something similar. We might have like a 7th SEO optimized type thing package, which is cool. But it would be nice that if we had a way for the community to collaborate back together and kind of make the best all singing SEO package or the best whatever. But I think that's just just a people and a community problem rather than anything specific.
But is it also a challenge that you're addressing within the team?
It's something that we're trying to talk about, but it's a hard one. I don't know how or what we can do apart from trying to either make people aware of what already exists and trying to gently nudge or prompt people just to either talk to, like, did you know this one already existed? Have you talked to each other? Do you want to maybe collaborate? Do you want to, or does your ideas wildly vary so differently that, yes, it makes sense to kind of diverge So
yeah, and even now it's not no longer a small set of packages, so it's
I think
hard
it's
to remember,
like
right?
650, 700 on the marketplace. I think I checked the other day. So yeah, it's an insane amount. So but yeah, with the adoption of like AI, and then obviously we've got maybe 3 weeks ago or so, Phil released a skill to help with doing back office development. So I've been at some contracts where I was helping the development team to get up to speed with learning the back office in terms of like architecture and TypeScript and things like that. I think with this skill and just like the models in general, like you can have a vague enough knowledge of what you want to try and achieve now, and you'll get 80-90% of the way there pretty quickly. And even if it's a prototype, that you can get the 90% and you spend the next 10% trying to do the polish or whatever. This has definitely helped. And yeah, like if I was going to do if I was going to be like a specialist in terms of like teaching teams to like learn the new back office, then yeah, I'm out of a job, because look, just go use skills now, because it's there. So
kind of one big huge excuse out of the way from not doing it, right? And
yeah, I think I've heard various different people's opinions on it, and it's like I think most of it is all really positive, and it's. I think I've heard someone the other day say that, like we've been putting it off for ages to look at 17 because like we don't know where to start. So we tried with AI and we prompted, and I don't know if they used the skills or not, but they were managed to get like most of their stuff ported over across, and they were like, wow, then this is not going to be as problematic as we thought. So I think the fear of doing this upgrade or this big challenge from re-architecting stuff from Angular days to kind of this new web component structure is, yeah, it's not going to be as fearsome as it once was. And yeah, obviously maybe not cost as much, take as much time. So yeah, I think it's definitely a benefit for everyone.
Maybe the real challenge really became the curation of those packages, and then making sure that duplicates are not literally duplicating each other, and yeah, making sure that the combination of those packages exist. But that's an interesting one, and I think as I mentioned to you before, I see also two perspectives to the packages, because of the updates and changes of Umbraco versions. I think a lot of agencies and teams decided to reduce the amount of custom things on top of the projects, because it's usually a bigger problem when it comes to maintainability of the project over the versions and updates. So, and also Umbraco becoming a core CMS which does most of the needed things out of the box, and with a couple of at least packages, right? So how do you see it amongst the projects you are working on, and where
it depends. I think it depends on the agency that I've worked with. Like some agencies are totally fine with depending on a package as long as the source code is widely available. So if there was a problem, they could patch it themselves. And then I've seen teams like this, it sounds like yourself, Marcin, that we would prefer not to depend on someone else that might be just a solo developer, because it's like a pet project kind of thing. Is it going to get abandoned? Which is also the fear. But then obviously you then have to kind of write a lot of code internally to kind of fix the gaps which are kind of not being covered by the core product. But like you said, with the CMS being more and more features being added all the time, like that gap of like having those like really packages that you must install is getting smaller and smaller and smaller each day, I'd say. I think contentment, and maybe like if it's not on cloud, then usync, like there's the two go-to for me at least. And then
some dashboards and stuff like that.
Yeah, some dashboards, but using AI can, I don't know, get it to write for me.
but then Warren, you were hacking a little bit
Yes.
recently as well, and yeah, one of the things is that some gaps and of course basic features are there, but obviously there are some functionalities that are repeatedly asked for or needed. Back in the days, I was also doing one of these. Then it turns out that it's still not a part of the CMS. You did it for newer versions of the CMS. What you were recently hacking and building, you can probably show us some of those elements, because I saw one of the videos from one of the packages that you did.
So yeah, this is probably loops back to the conversation with AI, but I don't know if let's see if I can share my screen and we can do maybe a quick demo.
Stage. We are on it. Yep.
Perfect. So this was probably, I've migrated your project or your work when you was working at Cogworks for a project called Content Lock, or I think you called it Content Guard at the time.
Content Guard, yeah, that was.
Yeah. So the idea being that you have multiple editors in the back office. I've seen teams where there's many editors, and it's the fear of overwriting each other's changes because you're working on the same piece of content. So for just a quick example, I could both be on the homepage, and editor 1 on the left is trying to update stuff on before editor 2 kind of works on it, so they can kind of lock it. Oh no, demo fail. Let's refresh. Oh, what? It's my demo site being taken off by Umbraco Cloud. I'm not allowed to demo anything.
Someone noticed that you're going to demo. Maybe it's being migrated.
Let's try one more time. And if not, I'll talk about the theory. And let's try one more time. Doesn't look happy, does it? The resource you're looking for has been removed. Why has it been removed? It's my trial ended.
Ooh, maybe that's the synchronization.
I'll use some screenshots.
Yeah.
So the idea is that it uses SignalR, and what it is doing under the hood, let's just close it out, is updating in real time. So it would have locked the page or the node for the editor over on the right, so that this all becomes read-only and just avoids version conflicts. But yeah, so that's been out for a year, and then with AI, I've always kind of had this idea niggling in the back of my mind that WebRTC, so that's kind of like what we're using now to do this call, is a common tech pattern in the web platform. So that's sending audio, video, screen sharing over the web, peer-to-peer. So it's like, well, what could maybe I could build an audio call-in app into Content Guard. Obviously, I was going to demo it, but it's obviously not going to work now, is it? But yeah, the idea is that I'll have to post a link to a video. But is that you would see who else was online. You would say, look, Warren or the other editor. You could then click a button here in this who's online, and you'd start a call. And then you could go, hey, can you finish up using that homepage? I need to publish it because, I don't know, the press release needs to go out in the next 30 minutes. So yeah, using AI, that's been a kind of a fun challenge, I suppose. I knew that maybe the 60% of the spec of WebRTC, but understanding the finer details and kind of jamming back and forth with AI, I've managed to actually build the feature. So that's rather than I'll get to it one day, and I understand it kind of loosely. Just spending some time with it, AI to just keep prompting and getting back there. I'm just going to try it one more time, see what happens to the cloud environment. Let's see.
Try that. But I think again, the previously there were tools like Jitsi or something like that. There was an open source online communicator, some teams for video calls and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that was maybe try to restart it one.
Restart it. I think I'm out of the trial by the looks of it, but we'll do a restart whilst we're talking. But I'll stop sharing.
But that was something what we were using for some video calls, and seeing this, and I saw this demo, and of course WebRTC being in place, it seems like again browsers are capable of almost everything right now. We are in the browser at the moment.
Exactly. This is it. This is the idea that you don't need to then imagine your team. You've got the development agency. You've got the client connected in the Umbraco back office. They need a quick bit of help rather than jumping over to Teams or Slack. Like I've got to log into Teams, and then where's that 2FA code? Like
which company I work for now?
Yeah, exactly. What one am I joining? You can just click a nice little button and keep in the context and keep in the flow of like where you are. So like, that's the idea. That was the kind of the problem it was trying to solve. Like just a quick. Hence, I could add video, but like use case, like do I really need to see Marcin in my back office? Probably not. But maybe I might want to talk to you very quickly just to say, look, I've got this problem, or I'm working over here. Can you just like leave the content section alone whilst I'm doing something? So
but that just proves that that when there is a real use case and need, the solutions right now are probably less complex, heavy to be developed, right? I always dreamed, for example, on the functionality where I can draw on the screen, and even recently on the Teams, I also see like a lack of it, and I need to draw something.
Something. I just want to like sketch or scribble. So
sketch. I always do a screenshot and then annotate it and stuff like that. But that would be lovely on the screen. So who knows? Maybe at one time, one moment. But you've been also sharing a lot of behind the scenes of this from the technology perspective.
It's quite a while back now. But if you have not been on top of the project, then like it was like a pattern that I wanted to kind of describe and use was that. As the new back office is very reactive, we've got all these kind of, we've got RxJS under the hood, which is, observables and things like that. So using iOptions monitor from .NET or C#, anytime we update an app setting in conjunction with a SignalR hub in the back office. So we're saying anytime anything changes to my app setting, be it an environment variable or you touch the app setting file. So imagine Umbraco Cloud. This is what I was going to demo. You can update an environment variable, then I can turn off a feature without restarting or redeploying the website. So it would monitor your environment variable. iOptions monitor kicks in and goes, there's an update, and then it sends it out via SignalR, and then the kind of the back office of the feature that I've built is like, okay, we'll turn off that connected users dialog in the top right hand corner, and then you haven't had to redeploy the site, and then it's a nice little pattern.
I think generally having SignalR also, since I don't know since which version Umbraco had it.
So it's been in the core for a little while, but it has its ways that you can extend it. Or you can just roll your own.
Also potential is huge, because again that's those are editors, and the issue that you've also covered with the package, and which we also addressed back in the days, is common, because again plenty people raise conditioning towards content editing of the same nodes. Sounds dangerous, and I still am amazed how not a big deal it is amongst the projects which we're working on, and generally Umbraco has also amongst the ecosystem.
It depends on, I think, the end client and the project and maybe what the type of site is, but some sites there's only ever like one or two editors and they talk internally, and other sites there's teams of content editors, and there's someone uploading images while someone's working on an Umbraco form while someone's doing something with content, But
at the same time, we are not far from working almost like in shared Google Docs or
maybe
like
one day exactly.
I saw some CMS. I can't remember which one, but obviously not WordPress, because WordPress had those logs back in the days, which inspired the content guard log as well. But yeah, some CMSs also tries to approach that, at least showing the faces of people who are in this document, just to make the awareness that, okay, I'm not the only one here. I shouldn't probably be removing all of that maybe in front of some people's eyes. But Signal enables that, right? So you can literally use it for sharing the sessions in between of the users. But yeah, we'll see. And it looks amazing. It looks way better than the package that we did back in the days. It has a strong native feel of the Umbraco itself, and I'm really, I haven't used it in the recent versions, but I was flagging it already multiple times that that's probably a time to also consider this, because a couple of editors already flagged that, I lost the content. And I also noticed that you've mentioned probably somewhere on the chats that you have a full tracing and history of those logs.
Yeah, so it adds it to the version history. So like if you go to the info section of a node, then it's adding to that. So like who locked it, who unlocked it, and then if you need a specific admin or like a permission, you can add it to a specific user group in the back office, and then they can have like overriding unlock permissions. Like, I don't know, someone locks a piece of content and then goes on holiday and then forgets to unlock it, then you need like the admin or someone with a elevated privilege to then come along and like unlock it, so that someone else can come and work on it.
Some of the features that we haven't been able to accomplish back then. But that's awesome. No success with the restart. Just
no. It clearly is the trial has ended. End of trial. Thank you for trying out Umbraco deploy. Okay, I should have. It worked an hour ago.
That's no worries. So we'll attach the video and we will still encourage people to just install it and play around with it.
Have a go.
That's an amazing work, and you keep it up. And people, if you will have more ideas for the amazing extensions of these and the other packages, share. But you also said that you are a part of the kind of review board, the judges section.
Well, I don't know if it's public knowledge, but hey ho, but it's part of the judge or the award team, package award team. So I'm looking forward this year to seeing kind of what gets submitted, especially as we have the kind of the AI subcategory. So there's like we've got like the normal package award, which is fab. And then there's this AI subcategory. So the only kind of real requirement is that you use the new umbraco.ai like kind of baseline NuGet package. So you can, as long as you're building upon that, then that's then eligible. So I know that Umbraco Spark happened last week, and they had a package jam, hackathon, whatever you want to call it. And I think the whole idea was that to get everyone using Umbraco AI just to either get it installed, get it up and running, use the two kind of like other packages that are based on the kind of the baseline foundation. So you've got like the chat window, I don't know what you want to call it, and then you've got like the prompts package as well. So you can say like on a property editor, like describe this image to me and set the, I don't know, caption for me or whatever. And I know the only one that I wasn't there, but the only one that I'm aware of that come out of it for sure is I've forgotten his name, unfortunately. There's an Umbraco AI log analyzer package. So I think that's a really interesting use case. Like, nice. I've got an error in my logs. You go to the logs, you go and find it, you go and click a button, and then you say like, what the hell you let AI go like, what's going on? And,
tell me more. Yeah.
Tell me more. Like, what's Thank you, Seb, Justin.
Justin.
Yeah. So Justin's
that's cool. And I'm really I'm always curious about those packages being built. And again, if someone was in Bristol and can share more outputs, please let us know. But also, do you know how many submissions were or are inside of the packages? How many of them will you be reviewing?
There's a team of us, and we haven't had a kickoff call yet. But as far as I know, I think we aim to either. I think some people like to do and test everything. Some of us will decide to we'll take a subset and we'll go and test them thoroughly, and then So I'm looking forward to it. It's especially with this. Like I said, this AI sector. Yes, this is one from Justin.
The one. Found it.
So
it's amazing. Cool one.
So I think it's in context like the other logs that are near it from what I was told. I've not read it fully. Is it in part of the config down? Max surrounding entries. So it's basically taking the 10 entries, I assume above and below the one that you've asked it to then get a bit of context.
Nice. Again, that's one step less from copying it over. to
exactly. I think that there used to be a button that, I don't know if it's still in the UI, but then used to be a button that was like, go and copy this thing. It copies it and does like a Google search or something. This is going to be much better to give me context of what's going on. So, I'm excited.
That's true. And again, we'll probably follow it up after the awards, of course, and the acknowledgement of what has been submitted and winning. There's a lot of packages coming out, and being on top of all of them probably is a tough job and full-time job itself. But if there is anything, if there will be anything that will be standing out, obviously we'll probably find it out. But looking forward to it, and I'm curious about it already. Speaking about events, you've mentioned Bristol and Umbraco Spark, so that was obviously this month. We will still need to get some summarized output of the conference. I saw a lot of great.
There's quite a lot over on LinkedIn and bits and pieces. But I think as far as I know, Lottie is trying to summarize at least the package jam or whatever you want to call it. It'd be interesting to see kind of what else got built, and I think they had like a package award, a Spark award or something similar for like innovative idea. So I don't think it always had to be like fully functioning code. It could be just a concept. So, but apart from Justin's one, I don't know what else was there. So Lottie's blogging about it soon. Cheers, Seb.
I think it was right.
So look forward to reading it.
We'll get there. Exactly. So we'll get there. But what I wanted to also relate to is that there's a plenty, of course, of the events ahead of us. So probably there is a huge set of chances to get familiar with that and more. And as usual, we'll link to umbraco.com/events. And I just noticed that there's plenty of April events to attend to. Callum mentioned the Brisbane Umbraco meetup before as well. There's a meetup in Utrecht, Aarhus, and Bristol talks. So plenty of that. And we were talking before going live that probably event season for us will be a little less crowdy, and we are focusing on work, and then probably we'll just follow up the updates from the event this year more. But we'll see, and definitely a month is a short piece of time, and we'll next month we'll have more of this, and March, April, May, and there's June already then, so not far ahead of time. So
it's crazy. Time's going too fast.
Crazy. But I have two more items to highlight, or three more items to highlight, because there are a couple of initiatives that are always kind of interesting to share. One of these were sharing some Umbraco amongst the students, and it was highlighted by Nathaniel here. It did trigger my memories where I started with Umbraco, and I was going through 200 plus high schools in Poland and talking about Umbraco and other Microsoft technologies, and that was fun. And it's interesting to see how many young people will now get familiar with something like Umbraco. So kudos to Nathaniel for this initiative, and it's interesting to see how it will help, and if it will help young students to get more web.
Yeah,
stuff done.
it's definitely interesting to like inspire the next generation. Like, if we can get them interested in Umbraco with all this other fancy tech, then that's definitely a win. So yeah.
What was your first exposure to Umbraco?
For me, it was out of necessity, randomly Googling for a free CMS that was based on .NET, or it wasn't even, it was .NET framework at the time, just because it was a small web agency that was at. The lead developer had written a CMS, didn't document it, and then just upped and left the next day. I had become the junior intern to lead developer overnight, and then had to learn how to build a CMS, and that creative web starter kit, which it was a very, very old starter kit back in the day, in terms of when XSLT was the thing inside Umbraco and not Razor and all this fancy stuff. So for me, it was just, I had to Google, and it was I found this CMS, and then ever since it was just a Yahoo mailing group. It was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can someone help me, please? And then there was this friendly bunch of people who would just reply back and go, oh yeah, this is what you need to do. And that kept me in the job, I suppose. And ever since, I've always kind of been thankful and wanted to give back anytime I can.
Yeah, that's a nice story. And again, that's exactly why after seeing the young people being exposed to something like this for the first time, knowing how it influenced a lot of people's lives in general, that would be really interesting to see if and how it will be going forward for these. So more of these initiatives probably are always needed. And I know that Umbraco also is doing this hackathons and exposures for young people in Denmark too. So looking forward to more of this for sure. And then we'll have more of those actions and Umbracos in actions shared, and also more profiles to highlight, which also leads to one of the bit of the contents that I had here, because the U profile from each month is always highlighting some inspiring and interesting people from across the globe who are doing Umbraco things, and in this month in March, the Basish was highlighted here, and we can learn more about his journey to Umbraco and with Umbraco so far, and that's always good to read and see people whom we might not always get familiar with, even on the biggest events that we attend to. So that's interesting. And last but not least, always security advisory. It was something what I had listed also in the product update, but never enough of security updates. And this one was quite maybe different than the others from the past, because it affected only the latest versions of Umbraco. So at least the ones who are running on top of the older versions were this time safe and not needed to be updated. But this was for 16 and 17, and we'll look forward to more of it. I'm kind of optimistic when it comes to the AI inclusion, especially in those areas. I know it's helpful to see and find security issues and the vulnerabilities and stuff like that. But at the same time, I also saw a lot of blog posts and articles about overusage of it, because it was one of the libraries which was quite popular on GitHub, which was used to hijack and get some kind of secrets out of it recently. So with the powers comes problems in that case.
Sure does.
Yeah. So, but at least I see more of automated security scans, more of the feedback from analysis of the code, which has more valuable input these days, because previously it was like, I don't know from your experience at least, but I saw a lot of false positives, a lot of just general issues highlighted. But when now it often has more context and more knowledge, and can really point us to a lot of findings, which in general makes Umbraco, and not only Umbraco, better and less open for issues, which is always nice to have.
I would imagine the pull request team, or the team taking in pull requests, probably also get AI slop, I would imagine, in terms of false positives, in terms of security things. Just like, oh, I've chatted, I'm just scanning loads of random repos in the hope that I can just get some security reward or whatever. But
awesome. Warren, is there anything else that you would like to add to this?
Nope. Apart from I'll post some demo somewhere. I don't know. LinkedIn. Who knows?
another trial. We'll track it down and no worries. Send the update or the video or the link to the blog post or anything that will highlight that, and we'll always include that to the links. But yeah, thanks again for joining me today, and keep up with the good work and hacking around this and other packages too. And yeah, who knows? Maybe after the review process and awards, we will catch up again and scan through the findings and inspirations from the packages parts. And yeah, looking forward to more packages in the ecosystem too. And yeah, for all the people who are watching us, also let us know if there's anything that any idea, maybe any package or anything that you would like to work on, or maybe get someone to help you working with. We might want to bring you all together and maybe make Warren's package teams more busy with the future reviews. So yeah, thanks again, Warren.
Yeah, no worries. Have a good Friday all, and until next time.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely Friday and the weekend ahead of you, and see you soon on umbraCoffee or umbraco events, maybe somewhere in the world. Take care, everyone. Cheers.
Catch you later.